and welcome to Conversations with Tom, newly renamed from Tom Talks to Conversations with Tom. And on this episode, I'm joined with a very good friend of mine, Mr. Grant Pearson. Hello, Grant.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you very much.
Amazing. Now, obviously, we're in lockdown, so I've been getting people to sort of icebreakers, and I thought I'd ask you an important question. Now, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Mine would have to be freezing time.
Freezing time?
Yeah.
Why would you freeze time?
Because certain situations like you'd want to get out of, or like, you know, it's really weird. So I just freeze time and just like disappear and then unfreeze it so no one thought I was there.
Fair play. I mean, can't get a better reason than that. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be listening and hearing some noise in the background. Just to make people aware, he is currently outside enjoying the sunshine, because obviously today is a glorious day. I think it's about 23 degrees where I am. What is it where you are?
I think it's about the same. I think it was 25 this morning.
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm catching the rays.
Currently 26 degrees here in Scotland, which is very unusual for the Scottish weather, but making the most of it. After this, I'm going to go out and treat myself to an ice cream, I think, and a nice leisurely walk.
Don't blame you.
So what have you been getting up to during lockdown, Grant? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? Have you still been working? Have you been furloughed? What's been going on?
I was working for a while, then we went into the world of furlough. Then I've got into my Netflix a bit. I have tried to be active. I've cut out all fatty foods again. So I've been looking after myself that way. But most importantly, I've been absolutely obsessed with Vampire Diaries. So that's taken up most of my time, unfortunately.
Just binge watching Netflix.
Horrendous.
Now, to be fair, I mean, I've probably binge watched about 4 series in the space of a week. I've watched Brassic season 1 and 2 on Sky One. That's good. If you've not seen that before, I highly recommend that. Hollywood on Netflix. That's another good one to watch. That's based on the era of like the late 40s and the movie industry and casting black people and gay people and sort of breaking through that, which is really good to watch. And currently I am on Dead to Me at the moment, which is good.
Oh, sounds good. Vampire Diaries has literally taken over my life.
That and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, for many of the people that don't know, me and Grant have been friends for many, many years, regularly sort of meeting up at conferences and pioneer conferences and getting, should we say, very merry together, which is always fun until the next day.
Of course.
And then quite recently, well, in fact, last year, around this time last year, I came up to Haggerston Castle, where I'm based now, to work, and you were there. And then this year you decided to fly the nest, leave me, and move back to your motherland, which is Wales.
I did indeed.
How have you been finding it since you've been back?
Do you know what? It was really good. Very strange, because obviously I've been away for 5 years. But when I came back, it was incredible. Nothing really changes in Wales. And then all this happened. So I've not really been able to go to the places that I love. I haven't been able to see as many people as I want as of yet. That's some of that is a blessing, some of that isn't. But yeah, it's really weird. I feel like I've come home to prison.
I know, I feel like that. Like, I was on park and I was told I had to move off, and I've had to come and move into my mum's flat with her, which is on the second floor, no garden, a little bit of a balcony, and it's kind of like, I mean, Scotland have only just started to ease the lockdown rules now.
Well, we had some news today. We can now, apparently, we can go and see someone from a different household, but only one person at a time. So, like, you can't really go as a group.
Yeah, I think Scotland did the same with that, because obviously England did that last week, and now they're enforcing it where you can meet up to 6 people, as Scotland's kind of just saying, right, we're easing lockdown. You can start now meeting another household and sort of having a socially distanced meet up with people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The big question is, though, have any takeaways open near you? Or you're in North Wales. Is there anything around you that you can go to?
Yes. So you'll understand this a bit more because obviously being in Haggerston, a KFC was like in the land of none.
Gold dust.
Gold dust. We've got one around here. We've got McDonald's and stuff. Obviously, McDonald's isn't open yet. KFC opened the other day, which then led to police and so on because I didn't realise how passionate people were over chicken. So I gladly drove past because obviously I've cut meat out. Chinese's have started to open again, but obviously with all my healthy eating and stuff, it took every ounce of might to drive past one the other day. But yes, they're opening again a little bit. So the main one that hasn't opened yet, which you know me well, I'm still waiting for a Costa to open. But no, they're slowly but surely. There's the odd takeaway. You see the little open light sign on the door, and you're like, oh. So you get a little bit excited over the silliest of things, really, around here.
Yeah, well, I think it's the same up here. I don't think... I mean, to be fair, I'm not even missing takeaway food. Like, we've got a KFC literally a 2-minute walk from my mum's house. And, like, I've been, like, once or twice since it opened a couple of weeks ago. I've had a Subway once or twice as well since that's been open. But the one thing that I am really missing at the moment is a barber to cut my hair.
Well, yes. Now, you know me. Religiously, every 2 weeks...
Yeah,
I get a fade, I get my hair done and also on, and haven't been able to do that. So I put my trust in my unqualified sister. Yeah, so there's a good, obviously it's a good thing at the minute that we're not allowed to see anybody, put it that way.
I mean, I'm a little bit like you, like every 2 weeks, like you say, go to the barbers, get a fade, number 2, back and sides, trim on top, keep it nice and long. I haven't had a haircut in around 9 weeks. I literally went just before the barbers were in Berwick, just before he was closing, because we had the conversation about he doesn't know what's going to happen if we go into lockdown. And literally about a day or two after I'd had my haircut, it went into full lockdown. So I've not actually had a haircut for about 9 weeks. And I refuse to get the lockdown cut to let anybody unqualified near my hair. Because the last time I let somebody that claimed to be a hairdresser and wasn't, I ended up with a number 1 all over. And it wasn't pleasant of a hairstyle, especially in the job profession I am in. It wasn't the best.
Well, my first one wasn't bad because they paid attention to what I wanted. Because, you know, well, you've been for a haircut with me, you know exactly what I'm like. But
it's like a military operation cutting your hair.
Of course. And I'm telling her what to do, and she did it really well. And then, obviously, my hair grows really quick for some reason. And I asked her to do it again, and she didn't listen. So, to paint a picture for everybody, my sides are obviously I haven't got a fade, to put it that way. That's gone, and I have a fringe at the minute, which is about 4 different lengths. So I'm just going to leave you with that one. So as you can imagine, I've been wearing a cap quite frequently because I look like I've picked hair off the floor and stuck it on my forehead at the minute. So it's not a good look, Tom.
I'm the same. I've been wearing baseball caps, and I've ordered a couple off the internet which haven't arrived yet. So I'm currently wearing my mum's, which is a baby pink colour, which is very fashionable. It goes with absolutely nothing I actually wear. And when the sun's shining, I'm just sweating all the time because I've got this hat on because I can't do anything with my hair because it's got to that point now. It's just too thick and curly and won't style. So I'm literally, I would give up fast food, restaurants, the lot. I would give up everything just to have one barber open for one day just to cut my hair.
Honestly, I agree.
And to be fair, I've been cooking quite a lot as well. Like my speciality dish at the moment is TGI's Friday sesame seeded chicken, which for anybody interested, I'll put all the ingredients in the description as well, so people, if they fancy the challenge, they can cook it. I'd say the hardest thing of it, obviously you get the chicken from like Tesco or whatever, southern fried chicken, like strips. But the hardest thing to make and the longest is the actual sauce. But when you make it, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Love the TGI's.
Oh, like I've made it about 3 times at my mum's, and the sauce has lasted so long because you do it to the ingredients and it makes quite a lot. Like I've had to buy like a couple of jars just to hold it because it lasts for so long. But the sauce is just beautiful. Like it takes about an hour to caramelize the onions, and then once you've caramelized the onions and stuff, it's literally like crushed pineapple juice in there and stuff, and brown sugar, melt it all up, and then you literally, once you've mixed everything together, leave it to simmer for over an hour so it reduces by half and gets a bit thicker, and it's just beautiful. I can literally, it's like drink it just straight out the jar. It's amazing. So if you want to cook something, I recommend you cook that. Obviously you can't have the chicken because you've cut out meat, but you could get Quorn chicken.
Of course, I'm
Meat-free
all about that life.
chicken. Well, obviously I've seen on your Instagram and stuff and your social media you have been baking a lot. I saw that you kind of took a while to bake something. What was it again? You jam. That's what you were making, jam.
Oh.
How how was the old jam making?
Right, so let's talk about this for a minute. So to keep my mind occupied, like my left side of my brain works more than my right, and you'll know what I mean. So I'm very creative and I get an idea and I have to do it, and I have to do it well. Yes. Academically or anything like that, I'm not very good at, but like more sort of practical creativity, I'm all about that life. So what I do, especially in the early days anyway, when we sort of went into the furlough thing, I used to think, right, I'm going to set myself a challenge tomorrow and I'm going to make this, or I'm going to sing this song, or I'm going to do this, just to occupy my mind and, use some time up. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make marmalade. And honestly, if I could share any advice, is to literally, 1, you need to have patience of a saint. 2, just do everything by the book. It took me, well, the first one was a complete disaster, and I mean disaster. So it took me all in all a solid 2 days to actually finalise and finish this marmalade, which everyone really liked at the end. But I told them not to get used to it. I would never do it again, ever again.
Well, at least you can say you've tried something, you've done it. It's taken a while to learn it, and you've kind of mastered it. I reckon if you did it again, because you've learned from your mistakes and you've done it again, you'd probably find it a lot easier to do it a second time. But I would say the person you need there the most to help you would be Paddington Bear, who's a professional at marmalade.
Well, he can have it. I applaud him. He can stick with this marmalade because I do not want to do it again. I've only just managed to get the orange colour out of my nails.
Oh, I feel your pain. I feel your pain on that one because obviously I've got the girlfriend staying with me in quarantine, and she's very much, obviously now the sun's come out, it's not as much, we can go out and we can sort of catch the sun, but she loves her fake tan, and I'm the one that always has to do the back. And
yes.
I did it last night for her, and I woke up this morning and it generally looks like I've stuck my finger up my bum. I literally had a panic. Like, I looked at my finger and I was like, what is that? I'm there scrubbing it. I was like, oh yeah, it's fake tan.
Well, if anyone understands a fake tan monstrosity, as you're aware in one of our conferences, I understand you more than anyone.
Yeah, they're always fun, aren't they? Especially when your friends have been like, oh, I need fake tanning. I can honestly say I haven't really fake tanned. I've spray tanned once my top half of my body, which was back in like 2013 maybe. One of the years for a drag show for work, for a charity thing, and I had to be topless and I had to get myself a spray tan so I looked a little bit decent. So I was very pasty back then. So I can honestly say I've never actually really fake tanned. I don't understand it. There's all these different brands. There's all these different moisturisers to help. And it's just like, I don't understand it. Just go out in the sun for 10 minutes.
Just make sure when you do anything like that your lighting is good. Because if you don't, no one saw me that night in that dark room. Oh, apart from my eyes and just my teeth. That was it. People were saying, oh my God, your teeth are amazing. Like, have you had your teeth done? I was like, no, same set as this morning.
No, I just look like Marcella off Friends.
I did. Genuine. I was mahogany.
Well, we all learn from our mistakes, don't we? We all know you wanted to try and be like the Essex way. for the night.
Well, yes, you know me.
Now, we got you on the podcast because obviously not so long ago, you did something very not you really, which got quite a lot of positive feedback and a lot of praise for what you actually did, because you did a video for YouTube, and it wasn't the kind of like edited video or anything like that. It was just a raw, open, honest video about Crohn's disease and your battles with Crohn's. Now, for people listening, Grant has the disease called Crohn's. I can't even say it. Crohn's disease, or as it's also called, if I can pronounce it right, is it colitis?
Yes.
I may not have pronounced that correctly. Obviously, when you said you wanted to come on and talk about it, I was like, right, I need to do some research about it. And I've been looking, and that was one of the names came up with. And in the US, there's over 200,000 cases a year. And in the UK, 1 in every 650 people in the UK is diagnosed or has the Crohn's disease. Now, obviously, you did a video that was quite open, honest and raw, and sort of spoke about your battles with it, going through it, dealing with it, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, while we're talking to each other, I'd get you to, or we'd both have a discussion about it. Any questions I might have about it, I could speak to you about it, and you can just kind of explain it more, sort of a dumb guide for people like me that don't really understand it fully.
Yeah.
Sort of break it down so people just kind of raise awareness for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us about it through your eyes. So when were you diagnosed? How is it living with Crohn's, your daily battles and stuff like that, and just kind of gives an insight.
Okay, so first of all, everyone is different when it comes to Crohn's. So there's different severities of it.
Yeah.
I had quite a difficult time around 2011, where sort of pain took over my life, and it wasn't very good. And I was going for different scans, and the unfortunate thing about it, I'm going to try and bite-size this as much as I can, because I know you know what I'm like. I go on for days. But so the diagnosis is quite a long sort of term thing, so it's not like an overnight thing. So lots of scans, lots of blood tests, lots of different medications, lots of sort of cameras up and everywhere, and down and wherever they need to go to see what's happening. I'm trying to be as polite as possible, because it is quite a delicate situation.
Yes.
You've got to be careful what you say. But so that was me. And then obviously with mine, long story short, a part of my bowel, intestine, anything to do with your digestive system had died, causing ridiculous amounts of pain. Now, when I mean pain, this was like it made you pass out. It was that painful. It was really bad.
Yeah.
In a shallow way, and because I've always been quite a big lad, as you know, I dropped a serious amount of weight in quite a rapid time. And I got to about 9 stone at one point. And it wasn't a good look, and it wasn't, be careful what you wish for, put it that way, because it was, if I could take that back, Jesus. Anyway, part of it had died, which then led to what they call a resection, which is the operation that I had, which was basically they cut away the infected bits and connect whatever you've got left, basically.
Yeah.
Different people, obviously, there's different lengths and different amounts. So that's when sort of like your colostomy bag comes into play, or, you know, they can either give you a reversible one or a permanent one and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's where I was. And then obviously, like my eyes, I constantly looked like I had a hangover all the time, because my eyes were always red and I was puffy, and my nails were blue, and my hair was thinning and it was falling out and stuff like that. So it is quite a long process, but it basically it's like a sort of autoimmune system that attacks your bowel, so it weakens it, and it makes it extremely sensitive, and it ulcerates, and it's nasty.
Yeah,
nasty. But yeah, so there's different things treated. Steroids are the main thing for everyone because obviously they sort of strengthen everything up. So if you think about someone with maybe, serious cases of asthma or breathing difficulties or respiratory things, they hammer you with steroids to strengthen your lungs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I have them.
The inhalers and stuff.
Yeah, so I had that with what I had left. For me, because I was silly, really, when you think about it, but the symptoms are very similar to something more nasty. And at the time, I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want to worry anyone. And the longer I left it, the more serious it got, which then I had to have the junction from my stomach to my bowel removed as well. That's where you get all, so whatever you eat, that junction gives you all the nutrients and your foods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've had that removed. So looking back, if I'd have maybe said something a little bit sooner, it maybe wouldn't have been so serious.
Yeah. So if you'd have sort of spoken to somebody or gone to the doctors or got it sort of dealt with quicker, you might not have lost as much as what you have kind of done.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the main reason why I did that video, because you think I never knew about it. I'd never known anyone with it. I didn't know anything about it. So through time, and you sort of educate yourself through your illness as well, like meeting different doctors and, charities and so on. That's how I it came, and I thought, you know what? If anyone was like how I was, I honestly, if anyone went through that, I would be devastated for them, because it was not to sound like feel sorry for me, because I don't see myself. I try and block that out of my life, because I try and, but when it comes to day-to-day life, as you asked, it's very difficult to manage. So especially the early days, you feel like, this is going to sound really dramatic, but you feel like you're being reborn again, because you have to adapt to everything. Can I eat this? Can I go there? Is that too far away? Can I, what if this happens? Will these people understand? Will these people, take the mick? Will these people judge me? Will I be able to do that? Can I wear that? Can I, am I safe to go into that venue? Or it's very weird. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine, obviously, I don't suppose anyone else in your family has ever suffered with Crohn's, or are you the first person in the family to suffer with Crohn's? Or
that's me. I'm the first. Yeah.
First. Oh wow. So there's nobody even in sort of your immediate family that could have even guided you and helped you and given you advice, kind of thing. It's something you've kind of had to figure out, adapt, and sort of find your own way in life with it, and sort of dealing with it day to day. Now, I know you kind of take injections as well, which help, but it can sort of knock you out kind of off balance for a day or so after you've taken it. Is that correct? Is that the steroids that you take?
No. So after a while, I say weaned off. That sounds really bad. I understand that. But with the steroids, you can't just stop them. So they have to break it down for you. So anyone who's been on prednisolone, like the steroids that I was on, know that, I was on 8 a day. Then I went down after a few weeks, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it was like that. Before the injections, I was on another medication called isothioprin, which I had 3 a day for 7 years. And then I stopped them because, someone told me to stop them. And then, obviously, not last year, the year before, then... So you classed in remission, if you get me. So
yeah,
your Crohn's is there, but it's not active. So you're all right for some time. 2018 hit me again, and then obviously with the isothioprin I was on for a while, and then after being assessed by a panel of doctors up north, I had to stop them immediately because I wasn't aware of this. Obviously, again, only through sort of educational things, I had to stop them because I'm classed as for high risk. So my Crohn's and my bowel, I'm high risk of it turning cancerous, which the medication that I was on, the isothioprin, sort of helped that. happen. So I had to stop them completely. And then they then introduced me to, they're called something else now, but please don't ask me to say it because I can never pronounce it. But they were called Humira. So I had 40 grams of Humira injected myself every 2 weeks, which basically strengthens my immune system and sort of keeps everything protected and normal, if that's even the right word to use.
Well, I'd say as normal as can be. Now, obviously, am I right in saying this is something, obviously, that Crohn's disease is something that can never kind of be cured? So it's something you have to live with now for sort of the rest of your life and adapt into your life kind of thing and sort of maintain it as best as you can.
That's right. So there's no up to now. It's managed by medication, but it's something that is yet to be. It's incurable. That's what they call it. They call it an incurable. It's a bit of a mouthful. Incurable autoimmune bowel disease.
Yeah. And how old were you when you were diagnosed with it?
Ooh, 20.
20. Oh wow. So
20.
Quite sort of not too late in life, but not too early. But sort of it was kind of just after you sort of teenage years, just as you sort of entering as I'd call like adulthood really. So you were sort of going into your adult years and dealing with this. Now I'm guessing obviously at the age of 20 you were kind of working on holiday parks as well. So I presume you weren't at home when this was going on.
I was, thankfully, yeah.
You were.
I was in Wales then. Yeah.
Oh, so at least you had your family around you. I don't think anything would be more scary than sort of having this illness and kind of being on your own completely away from home. Because obviously, as you know, for the company we work for, you kind of be on different parks and up and down the country, different locations. So luckily, you were close to home and sort of able to see your family as well.
At that point, yeah, that one I did. The serious one, I mean, it's all serious, but the most serious one, I was home and I was close to everyone, which was good.
That's good then. Obviously, like being around family and getting that sort of emotional support that you need at that kind of time. Because like you say, like obviously over the years, seeing you've fluctuated in weight. You've gone big, you've gone skinny, like, and it's kind of fluctuated. And to be fair, even when you were at Haggerson, you were at a good weight and you looked good, even though you never sort of looked at it. You'd sit there like, do I look fat, Tom? Should we have chips today? Oh, should I have fat? Oh, we'll go to the chippy today. And you'd eat your chips, you'd be like, am I fat for eating all them chips?
That's me.
That was our little Sunday thing. I'd come into a section like, we're having a chippy today. Yeah, let's get a chippy today. How are you finding it being like meat free and stuff and sort of a healthier diet? Is that helping with the Crohn's? Is that sort of giving you a better outlook on life? Like, is it giving you more energy? Is it making you feel better? Or do you still kind of crave the meat? Or is it something you're not really missing at all?
So for me, just a quick one, just before going back to, just before I answer that question, when you said about family and stuff, for those who don't know, it's quite hard for them as well, because they sort of have to adapt to everything as well with you, with mood swings and diet and stuff like that. So remember that one, because they sort of go through it with you. With regards to meat free though, I have to be honest, like it's so much better. So I'm not going to preach and say, don't eat meat and stuff like that. I'm not that type of person. But for me, like, it's all trial and error. So when, you know me, I love my food the same as everyone else, and I regret it after, as we all know, and I doubt myself. And I automatically think I've gained like 9 stone after 2 chips. But like, the thing is, for me, like, it just absolutely cuts out every symptom that I have. So like with meats and stuff, and your body's a machine at the end of the day, and whatever goes in is sort of conducted through a series of things, like with your organs and so on. And for me, like I do like things, like I do like steaks and chicken and stuff like that, but the ordeal, that's the word I'll use, that I have to go through to just enjoy that is not worth it.
Yeah.
So like when it, like, obviously if your body breaks everything down that you eat and stuff, but mine doesn't. So mine sort of, how can I put it? It doesn't work, basically. So it's agonizing. So like, you've even been with me. If I've eaten something, I go, I shouldn't have eaten that.
Yeah.
Because I know that it is, and then it's 2 paracetamol or a milky drink or something just to sort of calm it down. Without eating meat, I haven't had any of that. I haven't had anything like that. Energy-wise as well, I mean, I have B12s every 3 months. Obviously, I haven't been able to have them with everything that's going on at the minute.
Yeah.
And that's kind of knocked me off sorts a bit. But I think with me, I have 2 choices. So I can either live the life I used to live and suffer for it, or, like, in the nicest possible way, grow up, eat well, eat right, be healthy, and get to enjoy everything the same as everyone else. And I think that lockdown's really helped me with that, because I've had no one around.
Yeah.
I've had to go, right, okay, there's nothing worse than going out for food or people and you go, oh, I'll have the vegetarian option, and they think you're on like a fad. It's not that. It's just easier for me. And if it's easier for me in the long run, and I don't have to have any more sort of medications or go through bloody hospital treatments or go to square one again, I'm going to do that for me. And that's where I'm at the minute. So yeah, anyone who has anything like that, just cut anything that's going to knock it out, basically.
Upset your stomach and your body kind of thing.
Yeah.
In order to, because like you say, it's one of them sacrifices. Kind of, you're an adult. You've made the adult choice to be like, I'm going to cut out meat. I'm going to go on a healthy diet, and it might be as if you're missing out on stuff, but technically you're not, because if you're eating right and you're keeping healthy and looking after yourself, you're able to enjoy more. So you're able to go out more and see your friends or just enjoy the day. Whereas if you had like a steak the night before, you could be crippled in bed the next day, kind of thing. So, like you say,
it's
a case of you either eat what you want and indulge in what you want and suffer later down the line, or you eat healthy and you maybe miss out on that juicy steak and that chicken that you love all the time, but you can go out and enjoy yourself more and feel more healthier in yourself as well.
Of course.
And like you say as well, being in lockdown, it has probably helped. I mean, like, I love to cook, and obviously with the job I do, I don't obviously get a chance to do that a lot, because by the time I've got home, it's late and it's normally a takeaway in bed or something like that. I mean, there is, like last year, towards the end of the year, there was the odd occasion, or quite a few times actually, I chose to cook rather than eat, because it was like we'd spend £27 on a McDonald's, but for that 27 quid, I could go to Tesco and get a meal or ingredients to cook a few meals throughout the week. So being in lockdowns helped massively, because like I enjoy cooking and I love doing it. And like I say, like I've made TGI Fridays, I've made some Nando's, fajitas, like shepherd's pie, and kind of experimenting as well. So it's a lot better, I think, for everybody.
The good thing is as well, Tom, is obviously even when you do it yourself, it doesn't necessarily have to be healthy, but you know what is going in that food. You know what you're eating, and that's me, because I know that I can eat some stuff and not the other. Yeah. So I know that I can, I'll treat myself to that. I can eat that. I'm all right. But I know sometimes, oh Christ, if I eat that now, I'm going to be sorry. And that's how I am. But if I had to make it myself, I know exactly what's going in that. So that's me personally. I think it's the best thing to do. You know me, I'm pretty cooking mad, but like I know what I'm putting into it, and I know what I'm putting into myself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a lot better to cook, and I find it therapeutic to cook rather than going and getting a greasy takeaway that's going to upset your stomach, because 9 times out of 10 that's what happens. You get a greasy takeaway pizza or whatever, and it plays havoc on me, and I know it, and I still indulge, and then the next day I've got a bad stomach and it goes on like that. But then if I eat something that I've cooked myself and I've prepped myself, and literally like the chicken's fresh and like the veg is fresh, and I know what oils are going into it and the spices, I feel a lot better in myself.
Yeah.
It's great. So just before we finish up, a bit of advice. So obviously we've spoken about Crohn's. So one bit of advice you'd give to anybody that's kind of being diagnosed with it, that's going through it, that feels alone. What's one bit of advice you'd give to somebody?
I would say social media is a powerful thing. There's loads of sort of private groups on Facebook and charities and so on that really like open your eyes a bit. And not to sound awful, but I still class myself as one of the lucky ones when it comes to Crohn's, because when you see different people and different severities, yes, I've had ridiculous amounts of surgeries. I've had things taken away. I've been poked and prodded and different medications that have sent my head west and all stuff like that. But when you see people, different people, and how they're living and how they're constantly battling with it, it makes you feel better. And it's nice because you connect with people as well. So sometimes, although it's not a disease that's really spoke about a lot, them pages really do help you.
Yeah.
So anyone like that, anything like that, just go on Facebook. And another one as well, if you do think something's not right with anything, as we know, and you hear people say this and you're like, well, no, but if you don't feel right in yourself, it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. And just go. Doctors have seen everything. It's not your dignity goes a bit. It's not a very, pleasant disease to talk about, because obviously when you talk about the bowel and stuff, everything that goes along with it. But honestly, if you can save even a year of that Crohn's developing, go and speak to someone. They've seen it all before. Look after you're the priority, and not everyone else's opinion. You're the priority. Get it sorted. But yeah, there's loads of people out there to talk about and ask questions and stuff like that.
Amazing. And like I said as well, I'll put the links to your YouTube video in the description, so everyone can have a look at it as well if they want to have a watch. Well, that's it with Tom's Conversations with Tom this week. And make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Grant, for joining me this week.
Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'll see you next week for next video at 5 o'clock. From me and from Grant, we'll see you later.
Thank you.